Hi. All my friends know me as a storyteller. Actually, I used to tell stories to Kavi when she was a baby growing up. At night, I used to keep telling her stories until she went off to sleep. My friends know me as a storyteller, and they keep every time we meet up for a party, they say, "So what's new, Ambu?" And "So Ambika, anything interesting happened?" And anything weird happened in your salon? Because all these things happen in my salon, some weird things happen, some happy things happen, some strange things happen, but mostly happy things. But there are some really weird things that happen. And I have to tell you, the weirdest of them all has to be when this client of mine sat down at my makeup table, and I started doing makeup. It was a very heavy day in Delhi, and she kept whispering to me, and I was like, so I had to keep going down and saying, "Yes, sweetheart, what is it?" She said, my mom and my sister are sitting behind. I said, "That's fine," because everybody comes with their mother, sister, anybody, somebody. And she said, "No, but can I borrow your phone, please?" So I said, "Sure." She said, No, just quietly put it on the table. It all looked a little freaky, it looked a little weird, but anyway, I gave my phone to her. She picked up the phone, she goes to the loo, comes back, puts the phone on the table and tells me, "Ambika, can you please step out?" She's whispering, "Can you please step out, pick up the phone and call the last person I dialed?" So I said, "Sure, I could do that, but what is this about?" And she's like, "Go, he'll tell you, please go." So I picked up the phone, stepped out of my salon, stepped out of that floor and called up, and this guy comes on the phone and says, "Hello ma'am, you're doing makeup for my bride." And I'm like, "Really? Congratulations, the wedding is today, right?" So he says, "No, we got married 3 days ago. Right now her parents are forcing her to get married to somebody else." I have to tell you, this sounds like a B-grade bad Hindi movie, but it actually happened in my salon. So he said, the parents are getting her married to somebody else, so ma'am, you've got to help us out. And I'm like, "I'm so sorry, I'm just a makeup artist and a hairstylist, I can't do anything." So he said, "Listen ma'am, if this wedding goes through, you'll have 2 dead bodies on your hand, hers and me. We're not going to live tomorrow if she gets married to somebody else." So I'm like, "Listen, you can't do this, you can't place this guilt trip on me, please, it's not going to work, So he says, "Ma'am, please, all I want you to do is call up the police." And I said, "No, that's not my job." So she says, "Okay, at least can you just call up our lawyer?" So I said, "That I can do." So he forwarded me the lawyer's number, so I called up the lawyer, and the lawyer was like, "Listen, Ambika," an old woman, she said, "Listen, Ambika, I think you should stand up for this and tell the cops." And I said, "No, it's not my position, or it's not my job to do something like this. It's my job to make the girl look beautiful and bless her and send her off to get married." So anyway, I didn't do anything, and I sympathized with the couple. I looked at the mother with a weird look in my eyes, but that's all I did, really, frankly speaking. And the next day, this client comes to me, comes running into the salon and says, "Ambu, do you know what happened?" I said, "What?" "This huge tamasha happened last night." I said, "Where?" So she said, "Chhatarpur, the wedding place, I said, "What happened?" So she said, "The fairas are happening, the boy and girl are getting married. Suddenly the cops come in and say, 'Stop, this wedding can't happen,' because the makeup artist Ambika Pillai called and said, 'This girl is already married.'" So there were some 2,000 guests, they all went like, and the parents were, I think, ready to shoot somebody. I think they were ready to shoot me, the girl's parents. And what happened was, so the boy turned around in shock and looked at the girl and said, "Are you married to somebody else?" She said, "No." And the full crowd went like, "Oh my God." And then I think she changed her mind and said, "Actually, I am." And so he said, "Who is this Ambika Pillai?" He said, "She's my makeup artist and she probably called the cops." And because I told her that I was already married. So anyway, to say the least, the marriage broke. It didn't even happen, and the cops picked up the girl, they said, "This marriage can't happen." The girl said, "Please don't leave me here, my parents will kill me." So they picked up the girl and they took her and gave her to the husband or whatever. I don't know how they resolved themselves. I don't know how the families handled it. But for weeks on end, I was nervous looking out of the window thinking, who is going to come after me with a shotgun, you know? Is it going to be the girls' people or the boys' people? The boys' people were very sweet. After a month, the mother came and the boy came. The one who was supposed to get married to this girl, he came with a whole bunch of sweets for my staff and said, thank you so much. I mean, if you hadn't stopped the wedding, I would have been married. I would have got married to a girl who was already married. And I was like, I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not the one who called the cops. Anyway, they said, what do you mean? He said, because the whole of Delhi knows that you called the cops. I said, I didn't. So he said, you've got to follow this up with the police. So we followed it up with the police and we finally traced the number down to the lawyer who said she was Ambika Pillai. But whatever, at least she had the guts to do it and I didn't. But also, I also thought I didn't really need to do it because it wasn't in my space. It wasn't the lawyer's space to do it. Well, strange things do happen. Strange things have happened in everybody's lives. But can it get stranger than this? I'll see you soon tomorrow.